Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So, we are discussing the chapter Transport in Plants. So, in the first class, we have discussed how this transportation occurs, what is transportation and translocation, what are the special tissues which are there for this transportation. So, today we'll discuss the structure of these two main type of tissues. So first we'll discuss the structure of the xylem. Okay, so you can see the xylem is made up of actually four types of things. Okay, so what are the things? That is trachea, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. So the xylem tissue is made up of trachea, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. So you can see in this diagram, these are actually different parts of the xylem. These parts combine and form the proper xylem tissue. So the first is the trachea. You can see this first diagram is the trachea, then vessel and then the older xylem. That is the actually xylem tissue. So tracheids are vessel. These are actually the main part or the main elements for the ascent of sap, means the conduction of the cell sap and water and minerals. So you can see in this diagram, so these are the tracheids. So you can see these are quite elongated in structure, they are hollow, they are dead cells, they are not living cells. Okay, so they are dead cells and lignified cells with tapering end. You can see this is elongated and two ends are tapering. Okay, and they having pits on their cell wall. So this outer part, that is actually the cell wall, and they have some deposition of some particles, that is the pits on their cell wall. Now next is the vessel, this tube like structure. So vessels are tube like structure, as you can see from the diagram. Okay, so they are placed end to end. They are formed a system of pipelines, because the structure is only pipeline type. Okay, so they form a system of pipelines that connects the root with the shoot. That means this part of the xylem tissue, that means the vessel, they help in the connection between the root and the shoot system. Next is the xylem parenchyma. Actually xylem parenchyma, the diagram of xylem parenchyma is not here. Okay, so it is the middle part of the xylem tissue. So the xylem parenchyma is the only living part of the xylem. So the xylem parenchyma is the living part and it is thin wall cell, very thin wall cell. Okay, so what is the function of xylem parenchyma? It stores the food which provide nourishment to the xylem tissue. And next is the xylem fiber. So xylem fiber has thicker cell wall which actually provide the mechanical support, or it helps in the support system to the plant. In the older xylem, as you can see in the last diagram or figure number C, the older xylem that does not participate in the transport of water and forms the wood of commercial importance. Why? Because as the xylem fiber is the outermost part and it is dead, it is also dead in nature, and it is very hard and thick part of the xylem fiber or the xylem tissue. So when the plants become very old, at that time it does not take part in the transportation system of water and minerals. So what is the function of xylem fiber? Means when the plant is getting older, so it helps to formation of the proper wood, and we know that wood is very much important for its commercial use. Okay, so this is the xylem. Next is the phloem. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the phloem. So like the xylem, xylem has different parts, so phloem also have different types, means not types, phloem also made up of different parts. So what are the elements of phloem? Sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma. Okay, xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma, trachea and vessel. So here phloem fiber and phloem parenchyma is there, and instead of trachea and the vessels, in phloem there is sieve tube and companion cells. Okay, so these two are the diagrams which is showing the companion cells and the structure of the phloem. Okay, now in this figure you can see it is the mature sieve tubes are vertical columns of the living cells. They having cytoplasm but they don't have any nucleus. Okay, so this first diagram is of sieve tube. Okay, so this is also tube like structure, and inside the sieve tube you can see some perforated structure, some pores are there, so that is the sieve plate. Okay, so you can see cytoplasm is there but no nucleus is present in the sieve tubes. Okay, so they contain some perforated disc like structure which is known as the sieve plates. And what is the function of sieve plates? They allow the food materials to pass from one sieve tube to another sieve tube. Okay, next is the companion cell. So it lies just beside the sieve tube and they together form the functional unit of the phloem. So what is the main function of the phloem? Is transport of food material, and the main function of xylem is to transport of water and minerals. Okay, and phloem parenchyma, after that the phloem parenchyma is thin wall structure and which is also held for the food storage. Okay, and phloem fiber which is formed of dead cells and that is also gives support to the plant. Okay, so these are different parts of the phloem. So I hope you have understood the structure of xylem and phloem. Okay, next we will see what are the different process. If only xylem and phloem is there, then the tissues are present in the plant, but we need the biological process so that they can absorb the minerals and water and they can transport it through to different parts of the plant body. So there are different processes. So let's see what are the process which helps in this transportation system. So diffusion, osmosis, active transport and passive transport. Okay, so first we'll see what is the process diffusion. So these are actually this diffusion, osmosis and active or passive transport. These are, as it is a part of the transport system, that means the movement of water molecules, okay, from different parts of the cell, either from higher to lower concentration or from lower to higher concentration, like this. Okay, so let's see what is the diffusion. So the movement of molecules of solid, liquid and gaseous. So it can be solid, it can be liquid and it can be gaseous. So from a region of higher concentration to a region of the lower concentration. When? So until the concentration in the both region they become uniform or equal. So this process is diffusion. Okay, so this process is diffusion. Now the plants use diffusion phenomenon for different ways. Okay, so why the plant use this phenomenon? So first, if the concentration of the mineral ion which is present in the soil will be, if the concentration is more, then what happen compared to the cell sap in the root hair cells? Then what will happen? Then the mineral ion they diffuse from the soil water into the root hair cells. That means it help in the entry of the minerals from the soil to the root hair cells. Understood how? So diffusion means the transfer of solid, liquid or gas or any kind of ion from their higher concentration to the lower concentration. So how it will move in case of plant? So the minerals are present in more amount inside the soil, but it is present, or the concentration of minerals or the water is very less inside the cell of the root hair cell. So that means higher concentration is in the soil and lower concentration is in the cell. That means where it will flow from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, that means from the soil to the root hair cells. Okay, so The first diagram is showing, I hope you can see the diagram. So the first diagram is showing the higher concentration to the lower concentration. See, in the left hand side, the concentration of solute molecules or any kind of solid molecules, these are very high, but in the right hand side the concentration is very low. That means it will flow from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Now, as if you will consider this, that the red dots which are more in the soil, okay, but the red dots are very less inside the root hair cell. So this diagram is showing the root hair cells. So through the process of diffusion, this mineral ions or this minerals will come from the soil to the root hair cells by the process of diffusion. Now, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis through the leaf cells, that is also done by this diffusion process. And next, the water that is reaching the xylem into the leaf cell, that is also diffuses out into the environment by the stomatal opening. When there is high amount of water in the leaf cells or inside the stomata, so stomata will open up and it will release the excess water by the process of transpiration. Next, the unicellular organism. Unicellular means single cellular organism, like Chlamydomonas and some simple organism like Spirogyra. They are in direct contact with their aquatic environment. They are in direct contact with their aquatic environment, so that the material transport in this organism take place through the diffusion. As they are in direct contact with the environment, so through the process of diffusion, this exchange of material will occur. Okay, so these are the three processes which is showing. First one is showing how this diffusion occurs. Next one is showing that how the diffusion occurs from the soil to the root hair cells, and the next, that is also showing the diffusion of release of water molecules from the leaf cells with the process of diffusion. Okay, so that is the first process, which is the diffusion. Next process is osmosis. Okay, so that is also transport or movement of water molecules or solvent molecules in that is solid molecule, and this is solvent molecule. Okay, in diffusion, that is the solute molecule, and in osmosis, this is the solvent molecule. So it is the movement of water or the solvent molecules from a region of its higher concentration to the region of its lower concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane means it is a special type of membrane which allows only some kind of particles through it. That means all big or small particle cannot go or cannot transmit through this membrane. Only very small kind of particles, ion or something, they can transport through this semi-permeable membrane. So this process is known as osmosis. Okay. Now the cytoplasm of the root hair cells, these are very large. They are having very large vacuoles. They contain higher concentration of the mineral salt inside the cell sap as compared to the soil water. So we are not talking about solute, we are now talking about the solvents, that means the water part. Okay. Now, how through the process of osmosis the water will come inside the root hair cells. So in the plant cells, we know that we have that in plant cells they are having very large vacuoles. So in the large vacuole, cell sap is present there, and inside the cell sap the mineral content or the mineral salts or the mineral ions which are present in higher concentration. Okay, but the amount of water is very less because the amount of water is higher in the soil. So through the semi-permeable membrane, high amount of water will enter from the soil into the root hair cells by the process of osmosis. Okay. So if we want to understand this process more properly, then see this diagram. Okay, so you can see this diagram, A and B. Okay, so two liquids are there. Okay, liquid A and liquid B, but they are of different concentration. Okay, and you can see this red dot in the middle. So this is separated by a parchment paper. Okay, so which this parchment paper, it acts like a semi-permeable membrane. So the liquid A, okay, which is present in the left hand side, liquid A, which contain more water molecule as compared to the solute molecules, represent a dilute solution, whereas the liquid B, they contain less amount of water molecule and more solute. So you see the first diagram. So the solution A, okay, or the liquid A. So you can see water dots are more, but the ion or the minerals are less. But in number B or liquid B, water are less, but the minerals are high. So in the osmosis, what we have told, that the movement of water molecule or the solvent molecule, we will not consider any kind of mineral or any kind of solute here. In osmosis, we will consider only the liquid part. So as you know that it is the movement of water molecule from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. That means in the second diagram you can see, as in liquid A the number of water molecules are higher, that means the movement will transmit from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. So more water molecules are now present in liquid B by the process of osmosis. Okay, so through this diagram you can properly understood. Now next is the pathway of water absorbed by the roots. How the water will absorb from the through the roots from the soil. Okay, now the thin film of water around the soil particle, which the plants absorb properly, is there for the absorption. So as the concentration is higher than the water present in the adjacent root hair cells, so the root hair cells absorb the water by the process of osmosis. Okay, so when the water enter the first root hair cell, so its concentration become higher compared to the next root hair cells which is present adjacent to the that root hair cell. Okay, and cortex is there. Okay, after that the xylem and phloem will come. So this difference in the concentration of water molecule, that helps the movement of water from the first root hair cell to the second to third, and likewise it will continue from cell to cell, and ultimately it will transfer into the xylem. Okay, so when it will transfer into the xylem vessel with the help of the root pressure, as there is an exchange of the pressure from one cell to cell, so this root pressure help the movement of water molecule in the upward direction through the xylem tissue, and the water will transport to different parts of the plant, like in the shoot and in the leaf. So if we will see this diagram, you can understood this properly. So see this diagram. So the soil particles, these big round cells, these are the soil particles. So more water is present in the soil. Now water is coming from the soil into the first root hair cells. You can see here the root hair cells. Now you can see this black movement of the water molecule from first root hair cell to the next, from next to the third, then fourth, like this it will coming. Why? How it is coming? Because when the water is coming in the first root hair cell, the concentration will be higher in the first root hair cell. Why? Because it is fully filled with the water, but in the next cell the concentration is very less. So again it will transfer from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, and it will continues until it comes to the xylem tissue. So this is the xylem part. In this red color portion, that is the xylem part. So through the root hair cells it is going to the xylem part, and after that it will transport to different parts of the plant body. So this figure number 1.7, how the water movement or the pathway of water movement, how it is going from the soil to the xylem vessel. So this diagram you have to practice. Okay, so what we have discussed today: structure of xylem and phloem, and different process, osmosis, diffusion. Active transport we have not discussed yet. In the next class we will discuss. Okay, so I hope you have understood this well. Keep studying. Thank you.